Hello, everybody. Thank you for your patience. It is later, perhaps, than our average starting time, but that's okay. We can stream a little later. Some Fridays be like that. Happy Friday. Welcome to our weekly Friday live stream, typically from 3 to 5, but, you know, today we're starting at 4:30. There was raid testing today, so that's why I'm late. I was checking out some bosses in Ishara's Eternal Palace on the PTR, and, there's something. We got to see the underwater fish boss. That's not a character spoiler because it's just a fish. It's not like a lore-filled fish. It's a fish, but you fight it underwater, and it's really something. So, that was my day. How you guys doing? New fish named Xiao Hao. I'm still not sure. I was just talking to my husband, and I was thinking maybe Chen, because, like, I don't remember what panda color Xiao Hao was, and Chen was definitely white and black, because he's on my mop poster. And, you know, Chen's, like, an explorer, and this guy likes to explore. He's, you can see him in the middle there. That's our new betta fish. And plus, Chen is, like, a nice, short, like, snappy name, I feel like, so it's easier to say and remember. Yeah, like, if I'm just, you know, saying, oh, maybe we should go pick up some food for Chen as opposed to for Emperor Xiao Hao, although having said that, I buy betta food once like a year because they don't eat much and you can buy a lot of food. Hi Hazel, how are you doing? Hi Casper Bowl, I'm doing quite well. I got a fresh cup of tea. This is my peach black tea. It is the same peach black tea that I have linked in my Amazon recommendation shop. I need like a button. I should set up a button where I just have like a on-screen graphic that like really cheesily promotes that. But yeah, you can find that tea there. It's the same tea as here. It's like cheap, but there's like a lot of it, and it's not the best. It's not going to change your life, but it's a pretty good peach black tea. I drink it all the time. It makes great iced tea. Caught a stream live. Welcome. It's a black and white, but Chen is easier to say for sure. Xiao Hao is a maybe he could be Emperor Chen. He could be the Chenperor. But Chen's like a nice short name. I think he might be a nice Chen. It's also very hard to tell what he's gonna look like in the future because he's young right now and he's a marble betta. So they actually have this gene that causes their colors to change, both in their body and their fins. And I've never seen like a young betta that had translucent fins keep their translucent fins. Usually they'll become some color or other. So he may look different over time, but I promise I'm not like sneakily replacing him. The Chenperor cracked me up. He could be, I mean, everybody needs nicknames, but look how cute he is. He's got like some real shiny scales on him. And yeah, that's the new fish. So, today's stream, what's on the menu? I could, you know, there's some options. We could have done leveling, could do, I don't know, farming for world boss mounts. Actually, I was gonna, I'm still kind of poking away at the Argus mounts, because I've discovered that I specifically know which rares drop the Battletooth Gnasher now. There's Pusilla and there's Vraxthul. And those two have a chance to drop that other mount I want. But I think what I really want to do today, maybe if I get bored of this, I'll take a break to go do the Argus thing. But for now, what I really want to do is island expeditions, because that's, maybe it's unpopular of me or weird of me, you know, everybody's excited about Classic right now, and that's a big nostalgia train, and that's great, but I like islands, and I want to do some islands, so I'm going to make a group. The way this is going to work, I'm doing mythics. I'm going to list a group and take the first two people that fit the qualifications, which are basically be 400 or over, and not a healer, and then, you know, just queue until someone leaves, and then get someone else, and then queue until someone leaves, and then queue until I don't want to queue anymore. Because I've already done my weekly islands, but I need stuff. There's so much stuff. Also, it wouldn't hurt, like, so the thing with island pets, there's a lot of island expedition pets. If you open up the pet journal and you type island expedition, you're going to see all kinds of stuff. And I have a lot of it. And I'm proud to say that I saw these drop, by and large. I think a couple of them may have come from a guildie, but for the most part, I saw them drop. And at least from now on, all of them must drop for me. So while I have many, there's just a lot. So I'm still missing 2, 4, 6, 8 of them. And I will not accept them as gifts. I will not buy them on the auction house. I want to see them drop. So some of them, like, I think some of them might be tied to specific islands. I'm not sure if I could get Wolfington if it was not Havenswood, but I'm not worrying about it too much. Like, there's so much RNG in islands, because you have the RNG of not only the island you get, but the, which is 1 of 3, but you also have the RNG of which kind of invasions it's going to be, and those can also add things to the loot table. So I'm just not going to stress about what could drop. I'm just going to spam them. Hope for the best. And then the reason I want more pets is, well, because I like pets, but also next week is going to be the pet bonus week, and that's like my new way. I mean, it's not like a cool new thing I discovered or anything, but that's like my new method of leveling pets, because for a while I was just using my stockpile of ultimate battle training stones, and now I think my new thing is just like wait until the pet bonus event, because the experience bonus on it is huge, and then go do 2 pet warlords and mob tamers to level any pets that I've accumulated since the last pet bonus event. That's my new plan. Delicious coffee, ginger, lemongrass, and pepper is a good tea. Oh, I misunderstood for a second. I thought you had ginger, lemongrass, and pepper coffee. I'm like, wow, that's a big cup of something. Island expeditions are so much fun with a good crew. It's just like a slot machine, but also one where you get to sort of like stretch your classness. You get to use like the interesting abilities that make your class unique to have any like advantages. Like as a shadow priest, I can multi-dot stuff. I can fear. I can stun. I can buff the group. I can MD if there's stuff to dispel. There's like, I mean, I guess I could even mind control if we're fighting Horde. Like there's all sorts of things that I can do. And then the more damage I do, the better it goes. So there's, you know, it's not like so easy as to be boring, because you can always do better and you can always get through them faster, but it's also fast enough that I'm not the kind of person that can sit through like a whole hour-long anything, really. So I'd rather do a lot of short things repeatedly, because that makes more sense for some reason. Catch up on chat real quick, and then I will list up the group. I want to do island expeditions is a sentence I will never say. That is all right. We can all like different things. That's okay. I've decided you are good luck. After I watched you last week, I ran Ice Crown with my husband, and Invincible dropped. Congrats, Teresa. Favorite allied race? Whatever's like new and shiny. Like I like all of them. If I had to keep only one, it would be Void Elves, but I think that the Culture and Heritage armor is the best. And then Zandalari Trolls have really cool everything. Oh, man. And then Dark Iron Dwarf hair is amazing. It's really hard for me to pick things. Okay. Starting, it's going to be Islands Mythic. Title is going to be called Hi, I'm Hazel. We're spamming Mythics. Like I said, 400 plus. And then I will not be taking any healing specs, just because I find you don't typically need a healer in Islands. You can get by just fine without it. And, I mean, I guess I don't need to explain any further, but you don't really need it, and it just goes a lot faster if you have all DPS, or you can, like, throw a tank spec in there, but you don't really need that either. Wondering how I can use my multi-boxing 8-man team to have fun? I am not the right person to ask that. There's probably a multi-boxing expert that's got, like, cool, fun ideas of different things you can do with multi-boxing, but that is not me. My team and I blast through Heroic Islands, no problem, but Mythic kicks her butt. Any advice? So, you'll get used to, over time, you'll get used to the abilities that mobs have, and it just becomes really important in Mythic that you respect the enemy team's... Ooh, I'm so jealous. That's a really cool mount. Okay, so in Mythic, it's really important that you respect the enemy mob's abilities. So, like, the serpents, like the Windhawk serpent things, those have a frontal breath attack, and if you eat it, you're probably going to die. Or like the crabs that have their frontal cone attack, like things that you can get out of, it's very important to get out of them. And it's not always going to be a ground indicator. Sometimes it's just a like a cast time, and you just need to know that, you know, if the serpent is casting something, it means you need to not be in front of them. So that's it. And then just like normal island tips, like, you know, avoid the horde as best as you can. Let's see here. Quests are really good. Those blue things in the ground are really good for speed. Don't get caught up like stuck beside an Azurite extractor. Like, it's okay to activate them the first time, but you don't want to just like stay there and farm the mobs that it spawns, because that's quite a bit slower than most other things that you could be doing. That kind of thing. Yeah, it's mostly just being aware of what the mobs do. Not all of them are dangerous, but there's some pulls that you, like, for example, don't want to do together. There are mobs that will, like, fear and stun and knock back, and if you pull a bunch of those with something else that's going to do, like, a cone attack, and you're getting, like, stunned into cone attack, that's really gnarly. Crabs in particular are gross because they can root you and then do a really deadly cone attack, so trying to not pull too many crabs is good, because if you end up with like 6 to 10 crabs, you can have situations where, yeah, we can clear this. You can have situations where you just can't live because they're spam rooting you, you can't get out of it. And you get stuck. So now that I've said all that and like sounded very official and like I know what I'm doing, I'm absolutely going to do it all wrong and mess up terribly. Oh man. Also, if you're going for speed, I find it helps to have people like, as a multi-daughter, assuming that the rest of my group is doing really solid damage, it can be best for me to just dot up the mobs and then go mine everything so that everything is already mined by the time we're finished with the pack. That can help with DPS uptime. Okay, what do we got? I'm running Misery right now. I haven't really decided what my favorite island talents are. Shadow Crash is a must. Shadow Crash is great. But specifically the row where you have like Misery and Dark Void. Twist of Fate, not so much. But Misery and Dark Void, you want to like dot everything up quickly. But some groups will do... It depends on how your group's going to do it. Like some groups will do huge pulls and AoE them all down. But on Mythic that can get really dangerous with mobs with abilities that combo. And if you're doing like these small like 4 to 6 mob pulls, it can be sometimes better, I think, to Misery. I should just check. I should just like record my damage for a little bit and then see what works better for me. That would be smart. Okay, so heading north, we can do this one, and then there's an X right behind it. Sneaky Pete and Dorp have it in for my main. Yeah. That brings to mind another great tip, which is don't split up. Even if you're in a pug and your pugs are going in a really like opposite and dumb directions, pick whichever one is going in the less dumb direction and then follow them, even if it's not a great direction, because you're better off to be together. You don't want the horde just like collapsing on somebody that's isolated and picking them off, and you can get through stuff faster, even if they're going the wrong way. It's better if you can get them to go the right way, but you know, they're pugs. Sometimes it goes better than others. Blood is a strong tank spec. Haven't been with my Blood DK. Next up is my Vengeance Demon Hunter. If I ever, and I don't know if I ever will, but if I ever do have a Demon Hunter ult, it's going to be purely for the sake of, lost my train of thought. Islands. Islands and maybe PvP. Maybe. I have this weird, unrealistic fantasy where I have an ult that I can do DPS PvP on. And I think it's kind of because of World PvP, because in Nazjatar, there's a whole new World PvP currency specifically for participating in World PvP events around Nazjatar. And that's really cool. And I don't World PvP because I only PvP on my Druid and I only heal in PvP. So World PvP as a healer, especially when you're just like on your own, not great. You don't do anything because you're healing. So I kind of want an ult that's like set up for PvP, but as a DPS character, which I've always been historically hideous at. And I don't know, I would need something easy. And I hear Demon Hunters are easy. I don't know if that's true, but if at least the damage dealing part of it was easy so that I could focus on, you know, strategy and CC and positioning and whatnot, cooldown management, that might be good, because, you know, learning how to just do effective damage on a whole new class while also learning those other things might be too much. Running Warsong Scramble for marks for recipes, and I hate PvP so much. It's actually, I find PvP is really different depending on what type of PvP it is. Like, a random battleground is vastly different from an arena match, and they're both vastly different from RPGs. And, it's just a totally different experience. Purple hair is life. Why, thank you. I have been freshly re-voided, and I'm quite excited about it. The dye that she uses, like, smells really good. And after I had gotten back, I was sitting on the couch, and my cat was on the back of the couch. And she was just, like, sniffing the heck out of my hair. Just, like, open mouth, like, you know how your cat, if you have a cat, and sometimes they want to smell something, like, really bad. So they'll not only sniff it, but they'll open their mouth while they're sniffing it so they can, like, get more scent. She was doing that. She really wanted to know what was in my hair. I don't know if she ever figured it out. Wouldn't Disc Priest be good at PvP? Never tried. Feels like a DPS healer hybrid? Probably. Historically, they've been quite good. It was only recently that Holy even became a viable heal spec. Like, Priest used to mean discipline in PvP. I don't want to PvP my Priest, though. Not in Shadow, not in Disc, not in Holy, not at all. I couldn't explain it to you, really. And this really bites me in the butt whenever they require me to have PvE accomplishments or PvE gear in order to PvP. It's kind of why I hate that so much, but I really don't like mixing and matching the two activities in one character. Like, if I'm going to PvP, I want to set up my whole UI and my add-ons and my bars and my macros and my keybinds with the intention to PvP, and I do it quite differently than I do if I'm going to raid on it. And I know there's different add-ons that you can have that, like, save your whole UI and then, like, switch 9 add-ons to different settings or whatever whenever you press a button or something. There's ways to manage it, but I'll meet you guys down south. I don't know. It just seems like such a pain in the butt. It's easier for me to just be like, this is my PvP character, and I only PvP on them. And some expansions I can get away with that, and some of them I can't. And I'm starting to feel like BFA is an expansion I can't get away with that. How are you doing today? How's your weather? Hi, Kelly. I'm doing wonderfully. I'm doing better than I thought I would. I kind of thought I would be just, like, exhausted and cranky today because, I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to get the vlog out and then 3 hours of raid testing and then a stream. I was not feeling bad for myself, but, you know, I don't have a lot of stamina historically, so I thought I would be a mess, but I'm actually having a lot of fun. Raid testing was cool. We tested the council fight. There's, like, a Shara's, she's got, like, some, I don't know, minions or whatever, and you fight a couple of them at once, and there's, like, decrees that a Shara will put out on you. And that's actually really fun. Like, one of them, she'll put out a decree, and while that decree is active, you cannot use the same ability back to back, or you'll take damage. If you use an ability twice in a row, you'll take a big hit of damage. So you have to, like, be conscious for, like, the 30 seconds or whatever that's up to not use the same thing twice, which is, like, an interesting and unusual thing that you don't usually have to think about. And I found that really fun. I really liked that. Although I was playing Holy Priest at the time, so it was kind of easy for me. I could just, you know, there's always a different healing spell that you can press. I don't have to be spamming one of them. So, I'll do this. Some classes will have a better time with that than others, but it's a cool concept. They've gotten very creative in Eternal Palace, and I think some of that creativity is going to really pay off, and some of that creativity is going to go down in history as big, big mistakes, and that's great. That's what, you know, that's what Miss Frizzle always taught us. You can't achieve great things without getting messy and making mistakes. So just go in there, make a giant underwater fish boss that you fight entirely underwater, and see what happens. See how that goes. Give it a go. It's just a video game. It's fine. All right, we got Horde. They're kind of mad at me too. Oh, getting out of that. Let's see. They get stomped right now. Oh, hang on. I need to pay attention. I'll wait until the Horde are gone. I'm also going to pop my Vampiric Embrace. That should help. I love how powerful that is as a single player. Like, I had for some reason like forgotten about it for a few expansions, and I just kind of had it in my mind that, oh, that's a raid cooldown. It doesn't really do anything, but it shows my raid leader that I'm like trying to help. That was all I really thought of Vampiric Embrace as, but right around the beginning of BFA when I was leveling on my Shadow Priest, and I was like, wow, everything murders me. Just doubloons, no goodies out of that one. Yeah, everything was just messing me up, and the only way I could really survive through leveling was by rationing my defensives, and Vampiric Embrace is a huge, huge, awesome personal heal, especially if you can time it correctly around, like, your Void form. Awesome. Congratulations on your new pet. What if you PvP'd in your Void Elf Priest? I could. If I wanted to PvP on a Priest, I would probably have a separate one like that. But I don't know. Like, if I'm gonna heal, I want to be my Resto Druid, and then if I was gonna have a healing alt that wasn't my Resto Druid, I'd want to be a Mistweaver Monk, because I'm always watching them do Arena and being like, wow, you're so fast. Like, I'm trying to play pillar tag with a Mistweaver monk, or like just try to push up on them. Like I'll be doing 2s, and my DPS partner's like, yo, can you go like stun or clone the healer or something? And I'm like, okay, I'm on it. And I'm like going on a mission, and I'm like running around, and I'm like blinking, and I'm using my dash, and I'm using my cat form, and I'm a druid. I have plenty of things that make me fast. And I get there after like what feels like a whole Lord of the Rings movie's worth of running, and then all of a sudden he like, you know, rolls away, and then I have to go do it again, and my shaman over there is like, you know, his bloodlust ended 10 seconds ago, and he's like, are you almost there? And I'm like, I'm going. And I'm just, I can never catch them. They're so fast. And then I finally do, and then they para me, and then they just keep walking. I would like, we can clear these, but I would like to go left after this, because I just don't want to be anywhere near the horde boat. And we can like go left and go 1, 2, 3 up the, what would that be, the west side? Are you hyped for Classic? I am excited for the people that are excited for Classic. It's really cool to see people have their WoW dreams come true like this. Down for that. Personally, not so much. And that's okay. Vampiric Embrace just before a Void Eruption, that's the good stuff right there. Especially if you have like a nice AoE Void Eruption, which is usually when you're about to die, when you have like a bunch of stuff on you. That's usually when it's all gone wrong. I hate this horde team. Oh, who do we have? We have, Green Belly and Dorp in them. They're not so bad. I can dispel the pain stuff off of Dorp, or the ignore pain, or whatever it's called, so they're okay. I like them better than the... I find a lot of groups will die to... I mean, Sneaky Pete, obviously, but the, Oh, are these... Oh, yeah, these are the ones with Sneaky Pete. Never mind. Never mind. You're right, these are awful. The trolls, though. The trolls are hyper-aggressive. And it's mostly okay in a mythic with a good group, but if you're in a pug, or with a guildie that's been drinking, the double axes, like the boomerang axes, those wreck people. Not me, of course. I dodged like a rank 1 gladiator who sees their counter-comp queuing, but they're dangerous if you're not paying attention. See. A little late, but here I am. Welcome, Kim. Pillar humping ruins PvP. It is part of the game, though. Like, I see how it feels unsportsmanlike to pillar hump, but the flip side of that is if you just took out pillars and just put everybody in a cereal bowl, and they just like whack each other with sticks until somebody died, that, you know, works great in a movie, but it's kind of boring in PvP. So, you know, things like CC and CC chains and pillar humping feel unfun when they're happening to you, but being able to use them effectively, I think, is an important part of the game. Keep getting disconnected today? I don't have any recommendations besides trying to find out if it's you. Like, are you getting disconnected from everything? In which case, you should probably look into your ISP or your router or your modem or any of the things on your end. And if it's just WoW and it's happening to other people, then that sucks. Nothing wrong with drink raiding. Some people are better at it than others. I find the experienced drink raiders can raid just fine. It's the real danger is when you get people like me that are not normal drink raiders that are like, you know what? Sure, I will make a drink, and then it's just a disaster. I am a, what's the word? I'm a happy drunk, and I'm not a very talented drunk. Some people are. Some people are effective and competent, and I'm not one of them. I am useless. I will, like, laugh at your jokes and do animal impressions and then giggle for an hour, but I won't be very good at, like, interrupting something on time. Let's see. New to WoW, want to start leveling a champion. How much time is required? Quite a bit, especially if it's your first time. But leveling for the first time you don't have to rush through it. There's lots to enjoy and see and do and work towards while leveling. There's no rush, but it would take a while. I would say on average, I don't know, 30 hours for like a new 30 to 60 hours for a new player. No heirlooms, no groups or anything like that. 1 to 120. Is that wrong? I just pulled that number out of my butt. I actually don't know, but that sounds right. What do you guys think? I was a healer. People died. Don't play the game, I just follow community and stuff. Is this like PvE, PvP thing, or PvE only? So the thing that I'm doing right now, the mode that I am in and the mode that you will almost always see is the PvE only mode. It's kind of like a scenario, if you remember those from MOP. You get 3 players, you're running around an island trying to loot Azurite. You'll see an Azurite counter at the top middle of the screen here. And then we're going to talk about like the Horde coming to attack us, but these are NPC Horde. You got like Sneaky Pete over here. Golly is Captain Greenbelly's, you know, these are NPC Horde. There is, just to make it confusing, there is a PvP version where you go in versus another pre-made PvP team and fight actual players. I have never in my life done it, and it doesn't sound like something that a lot of people do. There's probably somebody where that's their favorite thing to do. I've never met them, and I question their... Well, I guess I can't question their judgment. I've never tried it. Maybe it's amazing, but most people are going to be farming the PvE islands because they are faster. And the main draw for islands is that there's a lot of rewards out of them. There's a lot of pets, and there's a lot of pets and mounts and toys and stuff, and you'll get those faster if you're farming PvE ones. 30 to 50 hours, depending on gear and life. Just under 17 hours. Yeah, heirlooms and potions, that's not going to be the life of a new player. You know, the potions are really expensive, in my opinion, not super necessary. And heirlooms, again, really expensive. If you're brand new, then you're probably going to take a little longer. 6 days /played is good average. We got fish cam today, first time watching live, streaming while at work. Welcome, Aaron. I wish you a wonderful, productive day at work. I hope that my stream does not impact it too much. Yeah, we're too close to the Horde boats. We need to move. We can move north and try to outrange them. Getting stuck like this isn't great, so we can... I wonder if we can just dot them up and then keep going. I guess we're still fighting a mob. Yeah, we got a fish cam today, and if you won't see him always because it's a pretty small cam, and I also have it cropped in a little bit. But there is a new fish on cam today. We have have I committed to the name? I don't know yet. It's hard. It's a big decision. I guess I should. I can't just call him that fish forever. Chen. We have Chen the Betta. Or Chen Storm Stout if you want to use his whole name. He's a black and white betta fish. He's quite new to our home, but he's settling in very well. He's been exploring. I can kind of get him to eat a little bit. He's still not used to me, so he runs and hides whenever he sees my arm over the tank. But I'm, like, by the tank constantly. I sit right by it if I'm on the couch working on something or drawing, or if I'm doing my makeup, I'm on the other side of it, so he'll get used to me. And then hopefully I can get him to eat a little more reliably. Also, I haven't tried frozen food yet. I have yet to meet a fish that will say no to some bloodworms. The Chen Peru, yes, indeed. Quite. There he is. Oh. I put it down. 6 months is the scenic route estimate, I think. And like Mighty Blue was saying, if you're not playing all that much time in a day. But there's nothing wrong with that. Not everybody has a ton of time to, like, marathon, and not everybody finds marathoning fun. Some people just burn out like that. Any Shadow Priest got any opinions on Dark Void versus Misery for Islands specifically? I can't decide. Dark Void is still like a nice burst of damage even outside of the dot, and it gives you like a lot of insanity, which is kind of nice. You know, Misery's not helping my insanity gen at all, and being able to really quickly get up to Void Eruption levels is important because you want to be spamming Void Eruptions. Okay, let's head for that portal that's up north. Let's head this way and up the bridge. We can hit up that rare that's on the beach. And there's a lot of stuff in the middle. Maybe. That's my I don't know yet sound. Oh, I guess it's right over here. I'll try the other one next time. I guess I don't have my details open. I don't know how much damage I'm doing. Not as much as our Warlock. Good grief. Fleda passed away. Zachary, thank you for the super chat. I don't remember how long it took me to get my main up to 120. The level cap when I leveled this priest, it was mob, so what was that, 90? And I also don't remember how long it took me, but I had heirlooms and whatnot back then. I've alt switched too much. Dark Void? Oh no, Pete. Hopefully we get different horde. There's some chests just like right up. I'm gonna stun him and just see if I can loot some chests. Like we're still 2 grand away, but misery loves company. True. If you have the cash, 110 is instant. That's true. You could boost. I don't think I would recommend boosting to a new player though. You're gonna get a boost with your BFA purchase anyways. And I think I would prefer to recommend that you get to know the classes a little bit before you commit to boosting one. So level an alt, maybe level a few if you're not quite sure. I remember when I was new, seeing other classes do their thing in dungeons was a cool way to like get a feel for what other classes are doing instead of just like going through each of them one by one. Brian, thank you for the super chat. Both pillar humping and PvP in a fishbowl is terrible. Arena is a bad fit for WoW. WoW PvP must be in a large open space with lots of peeps. I think there's a lot of value in the large open space, in your kind of like a PvP Warfront, for example, if that was a thing, or you know, your epic battleground. But I also really like the confined 3v3 bracket. Something about 3v3 and the teamwork communication that inspires. Like when you're doing just like a massive, like an Ash run or something, I feel like I'm just chucking like popcorn at the wall that Humpty Dumpty fell off of, just kind of hoping he's gonna trip. Whereas in Arena, I feel like my decisions and my gameplay has so much impact, and not only for me to see, but for my teammates to recognize as well. Like if you're really good and your teammates are also good, they're gonna see the good things you're doing and vice versa, and you've got like this. You can get to know people and you can make friends. Like, I've never once made friends in Ash Run. Alright, so I got a rep item. I got another sack of plunder. So, on the doubloon vendor, I guess I'm saving up for... I got the pets done. I do find you get a lot of doubloons in Mythics. It's one of the reasons I love Mythics so much. I have both of the pets. There's some toys. I kind of want to save for the Cranky Crab. I think that's the toy that I want next. I don't have the Seahorse mount yet, but it's a Seahorse mount, you know. I can only ride it underwater, and... Najitar's not out yet, so I think I want the Cranky Crab. I'll switch to Dark Void in the next one, try that out. New players need to progress through the game, learn the role, how to deal with mob skills. How much learning do you do while leveling, though, is the question. That's one of the reasons why I think they eventually caved on the concept of boosts. They used to really push the you must learn how to play while leveling, but, you know, you can level very well without learning anything, and you can also, you know, level and try your best, and still, like, it's a different skill set. You can get really good at leveling, but still be useless in a raid. I think that's one of the reasons they started doing things like, training grounds. Or what were they called? You know, in the garrison, or you do, like, the Pandaria thing. Class challenges? No. There's a word for them, but... Those were intended to teach people how to actually play in, like, a group. We could clear the left side. Yeah. I just don't want to get stuck in front of the horde, but which horde do we have? We'll find out in a sec. They'll do a yell. But we can clear up here. Oh, I forgot to take Dark Void. Bummer. I'll do it next time. We're only half an hour in, and we're already on our 3rd mythic, so it looks like we're going to be able to get through these just fine. Very exciting. Shadow Crash over there. Is that the boat from Maw of Souls in an island? Yeah, you can actually go inside in one of the portals, and you can go inside and fight an NPC in the same place that the Mariner was. It's really cool. Palamecia, thank you very much for becoming a member. Welcome to the Squirrel Squad. Appreciate the support. I hope you enjoy your new special fancy icon and emotes. Proving Grounds, thank you. I knew there was a word for them. Yeah, they added Proving Grounds because they were like, man, there actually isn't an in-game way to teach people how to play. They just have to sort of figure it out. It would be nice for any and all expansions as long as they don't require gold. I don't really personally miss them. Like, the challenges were kind of nice because getting, like, your gold, you know, getting your Proving Grounds gold, or, like, endless... There was, like, an achievement in a title. Proven healer, proven something. There was achievements and stuff. So that was kind of nice. It was kind of like a generic Mage Hall challenge kind of thing. But outside of that, just like needing to do it on a character to get access to dungeon queuing felt a little arbitrary. But I see how it's good for new players. I don't know. Hard to say. You can learn to level, but you never learn how to play. Let's see. Heroics are too easy for gold. Yeah, that's true. I mean, how easy a heroic is largely depends on who's in your group, because having a fully raid geared player is going to make things drastically easier than if you're going in with a bunch of people that are like freshly leveled and new to the game. Like, the difference that an experienced player or a geared player or both makes is huge. So heroics can be very, very, very easy towards the end of the expansion, but if you get a group of 5 people that are brand new in brand new gear, they're still not going to have a super easy time. Some of us don't like to do cooperative things in game. I'm much happier running levels and world quests. Yeah, you shouldn't need to. Do you think they should have converted the AP rewards to gold for people that already maxed their neck item level? It would have been a little weird just because they're going to uncap the neck item level later. Like, I guess they could have done it temporarily, but it's just a little bit of a strange thing. It's kind of awkward, but I see why they left it the way it was. Okay, so we could clear the horde, and then they're going to spawn back down south, so we shouldn't run into them again. So I'm going to wrap around this side, and yeah, it's these guys. These are my least favorites. Get out of that. It's fine. Like, you just have to run towards him a little bit when he does his cleave thing, but I'm not great at it. Also, they hex. They also hex. I'm going to pop mine. Oh, I'm going to stand in something and die. My bad. Oh, I have a battle res. Okay. Learning the art, which I'm not fully learned yet, but learning the art of when to res and when to release and when to not release in an island expedition, quite important, because if you die and your team is still fighting and winning against a group of mobs that might drop an orb, it's very much in your best interest to not release, because as soon as somebody runs over that orb, that will instantly res you. If you release, then you gotta wait to respawn back at the boat, then you gotta get back to your team. So if you can avoid that, like, try to only release if you're losing, like if you're all gonna die. Okay, there is a rare just to the south of us. All this stuff is like behind the horde boat. I guess we could go through that middle and then hit up the opposite dock. Also, there's stuff right here. This will do. Brian, thank you for the super chat. You had small PvP in vanilla Alterac Valley, strike teams of 5 to 10 peeps back capping, enemy teams fighting back. It was amazing. I miss it. That is a good point. I've had some good AV. Well, have I had good AV moments? I've had mostly the reason why I don't do epic battlegrounds anymore is in AV, I would always end up being the person that just like goes to defend a tower. And while it was important that I would defend a tower, and every now and then it would get attacked and I would actually be needed, for the most part, I was just like in an empty tower being like, well, they're going to show up any minute now. I just know it. I didn't actually get a whole lot done. Especially because I was like a healer with like 1 DPS, and then all the DPS would leave me, and I'm like, well, somebody should defend this tower. We shouldn't just leave it completely alone, but as a single healer, I'm not exactly the best candidate to be on solo defense. There's not a lot I can do if they do show up. And my talents could be used elsewhere. It was always an awkward situation. Okay, so they're going to spawn at the boat, so I want to wrap around to it. At the very least, like, they're going to run into us again is the problem. Maybe we should try and go farther. I don't know. Get this guy. Orbs res? How do I not know that? Orbs do res. They will also give the player that runs over them a damage buff and a huge heal that is split between the group as long as everybody's nearby when it's run over. But if somebody's dead, it'll just res them. It's great. Slash camp? I don't know. Like, I know the concept of camping is to stay on a location to do something. Like, if you're camping an enemy corpse, you would be sitting on their corpse to wait for them to come back so you can kill them again. If you're camping, like, a tower, you're just, like, sitting on it. But, alright, there's lots of good stuff to the north. The actual slash command, I don't know if I've ever used it. What if it's just, like, another AFK? Oh, it makes a little fire. JK, it logs you out. I know if you slash AFK within a PvP place, you will just be removed from the instance. Like if you're in a battleground or an arena. For usually, like if I'm in an arena and we've already lost, I'm just trying to leave so we can queue again. Slash AFK is the fastest way to do that. Same as click exit game, don't do it. Gotcha. Gotcha. Okay, let's head north. Ciao Hazel, ciao Hazel. Have a great weekend. See you later, Joe. I am so looking forward to this weekend. I'm probably going to try and do some video stuff on Sunday just to get a head start next week because I'm sad that I didn't get more videos done this week. But tomorrow, I'm taking tomorrow completely off. I'm going to spend the day with my husband. It's our 5-year wedding anniversary. And I was looking it up. Apparently, so you know how there's like materials, I guess? There's like things for each different anniversary. Like I knew that the, you know, like 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years have like gems and whatever. Like there's a ruby anniversary and a diamond anniversary and whatever. Apparently there's also things for smaller ones. And the 5-year anniversary thing is apparently, I just looked it up, apparently it's wood. And wood is a traditional gift, and I'm like, I just go outside, find a tree, snap off like a good branch, be like, here you go, dear. Happy anniversary. Love you. I know there's probably beautiful woodworked gifts, but neither of us are exceptionally, neither of us are very talented with like a chisel or a whittle. We're not good whittlers. Oh man. Also, the webpage that I was reading that from was also like, so yeah, your anniversary is wood, so give it a wood gift. And also, fun fact, the most popular song 5 years ago was Thrift Shop by Macklemore. So, you know, there you go. That's romantic. Bump that while you're celebrating. Okay, I will. Oh, I was trying to tab target that and it wouldn't quite get it. Okay, how are we doing? We need another 2K. There's, should be like a rare and then some stuff right down the hill. Yeah, there's like a big ol' crystal, a couple of rares. Oh, and a spot. I love the spots. The blue spots are just like like a big old chest just for free. Just 400. It's great. One of these days I'm gonna get that island tips video done. The catch-up gearing video is postponed until after 8.2 because catch-up is gonna be different when that happens, but this is a good example of using Vampiric Embrace because I need to help myself. Although I should have used it before. I'm also going to stun that guy. He's probably doing most of the damage. Get out of the crush. Wood anniversary sounds kind of bad, like wood rank in LOL. Is that a thing? Is there a wood rank or is that just like a community thing? I would be totally down for WoW to have more ranks. Like in WoW you've got oh, I guess they did add another one. There's like Challenger, Duelist. Was it? Oh no, Challenger, Rival, Duelist, Gladiator, right? Is there another one? Oh no, they added Combatant. Was that before or after Challenger? I don't know. But, yeah, like the more the better, I say, you know. Like, it's always exciting to hit a milestone, and I think you could do a lot to fill out the lower end of the ladder, you know. What if somebody queues all the time, and they're just an 1100, 1200 player? There's no problem. They can have a title for that. Get any epic loot yet? I need to check to see if that one had anything. I wasn't looking, but for the first 3, no. Thanks. Congrats on your gloves. And your level 50 Heart of Azeroth. Did I get anything? I got, doubloons. Doubloons and Azerite. I am 48 and 77% is my current Heart of Azeroth level. I am going to queue for more. If either of you are done, you feel free to leave whenever you like. Otherwise, I'm just going to keep going. And I'm going to remember to switch. I'm going to remember to take Dark Void. And the mount at the same time. You got a mount? Jealous. Alright, so I'm going to go on the boat just so I can do this outside of the instance. I know you can change your talents inside of an island expedition on the boat before it leaves. But I would probably forget that. Happy anniversary. Thanks, Darkside. Your hair, it's so beautiful. Why, thank you. I am very purple. There is actually, like, more color in it. I think my camera washes it out a little bit. I need to try and take some pictures. I really hate photographing myself. Like, I know I should do it for Instagram. It's like part of being a whatever the heck I am. But, it's just it's just so awkward. I am playing a Shadow Priest. I met my man on the internet. Dating website specifically. It was before Tinder. So, my teapots. I bought my, like, regular teapot on Amazon. Like, or actually, it was bought on Amazon for me, and then I bought other ones to give as gifts to other people because I liked it so much. I have the exact model linked on my Amazon.com/shop/Hazelnuttygames. But, my teacups are from, teaware.house, which is a Chinese site. Stuff ships directly from China. It takes a while to ship, but, it always gets here safely. And they have the most gorgeous teacups. I don't have any of them on my desk right now. This is just like a mug from like Stash. Sometimes I bought teaware from Stash too. I got their stuff too. Bronze is the lowest rank. Wood is what you call the very bad people. Oh, I see. Oh no. I'd be down with some sub-bronze ranks. You know, even if you find it insulting, you might still like find it motivating. You know, if I, like, stepped into WoW Arena and I was, like, rated, you know, 1050 rating, and it was like, congratulations, you are a slug. I'd be like, great. I am a slug. I have a name. And I will be able to tell everybody that I started as a slug when I am ruling the world, right? Like, it's the beginning of your origin story. Also, it's hilarious. That'd be good. What should we do? Oh, there's a quest up here. I like quests. What is it? Who needs help? Is it here? It looks like it should be here. I don't see it. Oh, there it is. I need to help him with a volatile cure-all. Do I see it? Do I see it? Is it up? Volatile cure-all. I'll keep an eye out for it. It's usually quite close. One of the patches changed quests so that their items always spawn like... Oh, there it is. It's right over the hill. One of the patches changed items. Oh, you got it. You got it. Let's go north. Or quests so that their items always spawn really close by. Okay, and Void Eruption. Oh, you can just heal him? Sick. I didn't know that. New tip for me. Dang, I need to try that. That's great. I know some of them you can just, like, click on. Oh, no, oh, no, oh, no. Ooh. Okay, that's done. Let's head north. It's the anniversary for being married. Is the thing that happened 5 years ago. I had already started my YouTube channel. I know there's like a really early vlog where I had, I was like showing you guys my wedding dress. I didn't put it on, but I showed it in front of the camera. And by you guys, I mean any of you guys that were here literally 5 years ago because it was a long time ago. I was not very good at YouTube back then. I wouldn't say I'm great now, but I've definitely changed some things. Torin's got a cube on him? I didn't see the cube. I know that cube is, like, there's a checkered cube, and that's, like, their placeholder graphic whenever a graphic is not in yet on PTR or something like that. Thank you for the website. They have some beautiful teaware. The one thing I will caution you, if you are buying teacups from there, and I have bought many of them, check the size, because some teacups are, like, yay big, and some teacups are, like, tiny. And I have both, and I like both, actually. There's some teas that have, like, really complex flavors that I like to pour, like, a tiny, tiny teacup worth of, and then enjoy that. But you might see a teacup and be like, wow, that's a beautiful teacup. It's only $3. And you get it, and you realize it's the size of your thumbnail. So they'll have the capacities listed, and just, like, keep an eye on that, and realize that anything under, like, 75 milliliters is going to be a pretty small teacup. You wish they had pet battle arenas? How would that work? I was once a slug, now I am become Deathwing. That's a compelling story. I would be excited about that. Sorok down south? Okay, we can, I want to hit up that quest because I have a real thing for quests, but then we can turn around and head back, which will be away from the Horde boat, which I appreciate. It's for my channel since we started around the same time. Yeah, my channel is 2013, so I will be in June of this year. Actually, I have it on my calendar. It's, not next week, but the week after is my YouTube anniversary. I need a key. Oh, it's right over here. Yeah, my YouTube anniversary is on the 29th of June. And, I I feel weird celebrating that because it's not an accomplishment. It's not an achievement. It's just you created an internet account 6 years ago. Or 7 years ago. Or, no, 6. That's how math works, right? It's 2019, yeah. My guild is forcing me to play Shadow. What should I do? Celebrate, because it's amazing. It's going to be real good in Eternal Palace, too. I just know it. WarcraftPriest.com has a great Shadow guide. That's where I learned all my stuff. So if you have, like, gameplay questions, that's where I go. And have fun. Get yourself some add-ons. The Insanity Bar add-on. Twin Tops Insanity Bar. Love that. I don't know if it's been updated, but it does work. You'll be... Oh, yeah, we're going south. That's right. That's right. When I get into combat, you can see, like, a big bar that's got a lot of information on it. Tiny teacups are great for sipping matcha. Guide to macros. Don't understand how it works. I could do that at some point. Beginner's guide to macros. Actually, I was going to do, at some point, a video on macros that goes over the basics of how they are and how they work, and then mine, like the ones that I use all the time. It's on my list, but I have a big list, and I have never finished my list. So I wouldn't say it's going to be anytime soon, because I have some other stuff that's going to be happening in the patch run-up. And I have some videos that have been backburnered for a while. Okay. 2v2 pet battles. I'm just wondering if I'm sure it would be neat. The question is it cool enough to justify the development time that goes into making 2v2 pet battles, or like group pet battles? Because it adds the extra layer of you're doing your pet battles and now you have to find someone else to do them with that also does pet battles, that also has pets leveled up that will also synergize with your pets. That's a huge barrier to entry. And pet battles are already kind of niche as they are. So I think that it's a little too risky, and this is just a guess, but in my opinion, it's probably too risky for them to like dedicate hard dev resources to something that's may or may not flop horribly. Channel started doing WoW's videos March 2013. Don't celebrate my YouTube either. Yeah, like I'll celebrate milestones, like subscriber milestones. Sure, no problem. We made shirts for 100K. That was fun. One day I'll make new designs. One day, but just for it doesn't like I know birthdays are the same kind of thing. Like in your birthday, you're just celebrating getting older, but that feels like more of an accomplishment because like you know you lived through a whole nother year. You managed to not die, and that's something, right? You made it through another year, and just celebrating that. And then, you know, sometimes you just want to have a party, but, like, celebrating a YouTube account creation is a little strange. Excited for Tinker class. Hope not. Not my thing. Would not be excited for Tinker class. I would be excited for a Blood Mage class, or a Dark Ranger class, or like an Owl Priest, kind of Tyrande spec class. I want healing. I don't really like I'm gonna get my fill of mechanical stuff in Mechagon. I think that'll be kind of fun and cute and tinkery, and then I'm gonna be done. I don't want any more of it. I just got the live stream notification. Thanks, YouTube. Do live stream notifications work better for Twitch? Do people, like, of you guys that follow Twitch streamers that, like, want notifications of when they're going live, do those work pretty well? I think they used to. I used to get them on, like, my Twitch app, because I would have the app open just because I use it for add-ons anyways. And then, it would, like, put little pop-ups whenever a streamer I followed went live. Downloaded Weak Horse Pack for Shadow. Has a nice Insanity Bar on it. Yeah. Yeah, the Insanity, like, just having a real front and center Insanity Bar that has a good feel for how much time you have left and what you have time for. The Twin Top one will forecast, just plunder again. No loot yet. It'll forecast, like, I can be in the middle of casting my Dark Void, and it'll show me that chunk of... It'll show me how fast I'm deteriorating, and also what that's going to give me. If that makes sense. I do think I wasn't really paying attention to my damage, but I do think that I like Dark Void more. I think that felt like more damage. Say it's worth the time for Pet Arena since it's awesome. It very well may be. I will never pretend to be right about anything, really. I just guess. Touched your hair color up again. It looks very nice. Thank you. Bonjour Hazel, ça va? Je sais un peu de français, mais pas beaucoup. Beaucoup. I was never good at saying that one. Yeah, no, I don't speak much French either. I learned it in school and I've forgotten it all. How would a blood mage work? I don't know. It'd be great. You could, Oh, you could... I'm kind of imagining it as, like, you know, you've got, like, life drain, and you probably got some life drain dots. Like, they would probably do the same thing. You remember when, Demon Hunters came out, and they were like, yo, Demonology Warlocks, we're gonna take some of your stuff. And they just, like, took some of the class fantasy out of Demolocks and, like, changed it. They'd probably do that to Shadow Priest a little bit, because they've been taking Shadow Priest away from the vampiric side of things and towards the void side of things. So they would probably, like, rename or cut out Vampiric Touch, like, replace that. Give that kind of, like, life drain dot disease focused playstyle to a blood mage, and you could, you know, I guess we also have blood DKs, but I want a caster. I want it to have a healing spec. I want it to have a damage spec. You could have, like, a dot based damage spec and also a cast based damage spec. I would consider main swapping to a blood mage if they made one. That's always what I've kind of envisioned my Shadow Priest as. As cool as all the void stuff is, I really like the vampiric elements in Shadow Priest, and if they went all in on that with another class, I'd be very excited. Pet battles going mobile? That would be neat. I feel like it's a good odds. Like, they're coming out with mobile stuff. That's not a question. At BlizzCon this year, we're gonna hear about some mobile games. And if they're gonna do a WoW spin-off, I feel like they're either gonna do Pet Battle Mobile or AR or both. If they're trying to do something that will be played by the main WoW audience. If they're just trying to use the WoW IP and make a completely unrelated mobile game for mobile game players that have never heard of WoW before, then that's, you know, that's whatever. That could be anything. But if they're trying to get us to pull out those phones that they know that we have and play something, then it's got to be something that ties in and that potentially, perhaps and potentially, or potentially, as you might say, sorry, keep going. I'll catch up. I've just aggroed one thing. You don't have to help me. Potentially offer you rewards in the main game. Like, maybe you're out in the world doing your Pokemon Go style WoW pet battle ARing, and you catch something, and you can unlock a pet in the game by doing that. There's all kinds of questions to answer about that, if that was a thing. But we'll see. We'll see at BlizzCon. Speaking of BlizzCon, it's going to be 168 days left to go. I have a countdown timer on my desktop. I'm already stoked. I'm, like, working to try and overhaul my life so that I can be the person I want to be by the time BlizzCon rolls around. So I can be just, like, cool and prepared and, like, you know, calm and making videos and, like, taking pictures and meeting people and, like, saying hi. And I know this doesn't sound like a lot, but I just want to be, like, a put together, fun professional that is worth being excited to meet. Because last year people were excited to meet me, and that's just weird because I don't like, what do I even do? So I want to work really hard to be cool enough to feel like I earned a little bit of it, you know. What do you think the next expansion is going to be about? Old Gods. I think that, I think there's more in that vein to mine, and we're seeing the ramp up. Like, whatever the next expansion is going to be out, there are heavy clues about now. So, we're not fighting N'Zoth, whatever, directly. We're just fighting Ashara, who's, like, a main lieutenant of him, just like in the End of Warlords. We weren't fighting the Legion. We were just fighting Gul'dan, but there was, like, a lot of demony stuff going on. So, if they're following that template, I could very much see a bunch of, ow, I bit my cheek. Old Goddy stuff. I love your new stream time. It's after mine is over so I can watch it. Yeah, don't get used to it. This is a special exception because of raid testing. 3 to 5 works much better for me. Although, in a perfect world, the super cool, like, fantasy Hazel, she streams all the time. She streams on Twitch. She's, like, you know, fun and exciting and chatty. And, what else is she? She's probably good at the game. She probably PvPs. I bet she has, like, all the vicious mounts. You know, she's just, like, real cool. Fishing, mining, and herb games for the phone. I could deal with fishing. If they made a minigame that was, like, a fun fishing minigame that was not just, like, endless tapping on your phone, and it would give you any amount of fish in the actual game. Where do you think we should go? There's, like, an X down south. Oh, they're hoarded down south. We could wipe them. We could wipe them once. And then we'll be away from their boat. We could go south and then maybe along the beach. Or we can hit up, like, this first. There's, like, some Twilight Drakes. Ooh, maybe somebody will get the Twilight Drake now. You could chalk up everything to Old God influence. True. I'll be there excited to meet you. Are you having motivation problems with making videos? I'm having motivation problems with doing literally anything. I don't think it's video specific. I just have a lot of days, and this is like the silliest thing because I have a dream life, but there's just, you know, sometimes you just can't handle anything. You just feel really overwhelmed and you just want to like go back to bed and hide. And I don't do that much, but I also like my problem, the thing that I have a real problem with is when I get really like upset and overwhelmed like that, my coping technique is I will numb myself with media. So I will like find a YouTube video to watch, or I'll scroll Twitter, or I'll put on a stream, or I used to scroll Reddit, but like I actually couldn't stop that, so I had to block it on everything. And I would just like completely numb myself and like trying to get out of my head to feel better. And the problem with that is it's not productive. It makes me really tired. I found that when I consume a lot of media, I get really sleepy, even though I didn't do any actual work. It doesn't make me feel any better. If anything, it makes the anxiety worse. So I'm trying to work on healthier coping techniques. It's a journey. It's a real journey. But I've been a little better lately. I've been trying to find ways that work with my brain to get myself to be a little more effective, because I've noticed that I am very clearly deadline motivated, as I can tell by my frequent, like, right before the raid comes out, marathon video making sessions. Like, there'll be days where I work on a video for like 3 hours and I'm like, wow, I feel like I can't even anymore. And then the night before raid comes out, when it has to be done, all of a sudden I can do 20 hours in a row. So deadlines are important, and I've been trying to find ways to convince myself that deadlines that I have personally set, just, you know, arbitrarily, are important, because my brain just like goes, well, no, you just made that up. You know, I don't really need to have it done by then. But a raid release is very concrete, and it's not by me, and it's not up to me. So that feels like something that motivates me more. So I've been trying to find ways to give weight to those self-created deadlines, if that makes any sense. I apologize if this is really boring. I'm just kind of on a tangent here, but the thing that I've been doing recently, I have a big whiteboard, and I'm trying to figure out the best way to use that. I like plan videos on it, but it doesn't do me any good if I don't do them in time. I have like brightly colored sticky notes, so sometimes I will for the pet video thing, I would write the name of the video and the date and time, and then like underline it a lot, like just make it look really urgent, and then put that right on my monitor so I had to look at it if I was going to be on my computer. That helped for that one, but I need to do it again. And this whole week has been like a lot of stream stuff, so I haven't had a chance to try it again. Okay. Mine this thing under here. Wish we could see transmog on Shadow Priest. I would like an option. Like, you know how we had the glyph of shadow that made your shadow form less shadowy? I kind of wish we had, and maybe we still have that. And there's like a less shadowy and a more shadowy version, but I wish there was a version that was barely shadowy at all, just like kind of purple. Maybe like instead of a shadows, you get some birds or some wings, or like, you know, get the shadow birds from that toy that used to be part, like the ravens, but in a way that I can still see my Mog. I'm okay with them color tinting it, but like right now I can barely see anything. And I know I'm not even as purple as you have been in the past. There have been versions of shadow form that are actually just a purple jelly bean, but I would like an option to see more of my transmog. I understand that the shadow form is an important cosmetic part of being a shadow priest, though, and it might be weird if it was too skippable. Where to? What do we want to do? What do we got? We got 4K left. There's a big chest over here. I'm just gonna clean these up. I will catch up with wherever you guys have decided to go. There's a rare along the coast. That will work. I do that too. I'm not like diagnosed with anything, or at least not lately, but I've been trying out techniques that are supposed to work for people with adult ADHD, and some of them seem to help a lot. Media is horrible. I absolutely agree. I don't ever feel good about myself when I'm doing that. I know it's a destructive habit. It's just really hard to break. Hi Hazel, how are you? Love your stream sip. Hokey Pokey Loki, your name is fun. I have not been diagnosed with any kind of ADHD. I'm just trying out different things I've read about on the internet. Amazed how you talk that much but still manage to play. My damage suffers for it. You may notice, I guess I have my window locked down behind my camera here, but I'm not doing as much damage as I could be if I was trying to focus. Maybe I'll do, maybe I'll try out a few where I'm trying to work a little harder. I'm very lucky that the fans that are, or the viewers that have queued with us here are carrying real hard. I know at least one of you guys said that you had to go after this one, which is perfectly fine. For coping, relaxing games you play off stream just for yourself. I have Stardew Valley for that. And the problem with Stardew Valley is I don't have an internal switch that says, okay, that's enough time to stop now. I can and have played Stardew Valley just for like 10, 12 hours at a time. And it's a little better now that I've kind of, on my main save file, I've gotten to a point where I've sort of done everything. I've like finished the game, and I've done that on every platform. I've done that on my iPad, I've done that on my Nintendo Switch, I've done that on my PC now. So I collectively probably have a couple hundred hours in it, but I've done everything now, so I'm a little less into it, but now it's also not quite as relaxing. Sometimes I play WoW just for myself, though. In the app, you could play as Nat Pagel, fish in different areas of the game, and then send the fish to a character of your choosing. That would be fun. I got a Playful Frostkin, which is not one of the ones that I need, but I can sell it. Thank you very much for grouping with me. I'm going to take a real quick break, just like a minute, and refresh my cup of tea. I will be back shortly. Thank you very much. No worries if you need to leave. I will be right back with some new islands and a fresh cup of tea in a minute. In the meantime, there's a fishy there. You can see him on the left. That is that's the Chen Emperor right there. That's Emperor Chen Stormstout. He's swam off screen, but I'm sure he'll come back. Okay, I am back. Thank you very much for your patience. She gets back, pretend her mic's not working. You can't pull that one on me. Hang on. I have a very clear icon that I drew all by myself to tell me when my mic is muted and not muted. I got a button now. How do you guys do with the fish? There he is. Oh, I'm in love. Oh, man. I can't wait to see how his colors change. And I've told him, you can get ugly if you want to be ugly. You can get pretty if you want to be pretty. If you want to turn all red, go for it. You know, whatever you want to do. Oh boy, Brian, thanks for the super chat. I'd like a glyph of tentacle that replaces my void form with voidy tentacles, wiggling and smacking my group in the head. Your void form actually does sprout tentacles. They're just kind of lost in all of the purple shadowiness. Browser game with animals where you cleared pollution. I don't know if I've heard that. You think we'll ever get another Orgrimmar Stormwind rework? Maybe. Maybe because they're like such central locations, but on the other side, they've already done them once, so maybe not. There's anything that helps my anxiety regardless of who it's for. I think the reason why I don't want to go to a doctor and try to get like a diagnosis for, you know, like anxiety or ADHD or anything like that is I really don't want to use psychoactive drugs unless I actually need them. And I am currently confident that I can manage my own brain with you know, regular coping techniques and the kind of things that you work on in cognitive behavioral therapy. You can work on different ways to talk to yourself and different ways to recognize your own habits and impulses and have plans for them. So unless I feel like I'm really out of control, I'm going to try and avoid drugs just because there are always upsides and downsides, and I would hate to make it worse. I played 85 hours of Stardew the first week I got it. Definitely not healthy, but had a lot of fun. I remember after one of my first, like, really gnarly Stardew Valley binges, I was looking online being like, is anybody else horribly addicted to this game? Like, helplessly, you know, out of control addicted? And everybody was just like, yeah, haha, but, you know, it's cute, so it's great. It's good for me, no problem. I'll pay my rent next month. Like, nobody was worried about it. My mic is working. I like the fish's color. It's really nice. Thank you. There was another one. So I was having a hard time choosing because I was always going to have a hard time choosing. The store that I went to has quite a few. I guess while I'm just chatting, I can chat like this. The store that I went to had quite a few different bettas to choose from. They usually do. And they had this one. It was like pink and purple, which was already a huge draw. Like, I knew if there was a purple betta, I kind of wanted it. And it had, like, plakat fins. So the bottom fin was very short, which is a style of betta that I also really like. But it also had what they call Dumbo ears, which is when the pectoral fins, like the flappy ones on the sides, are, like, super big and flowy. And while it's gorgeous, it was a beautiful fish. Dumbo ear bettas can sometimes have a hard time swimming. They can blow out those fins a lot, like split them. The fish had such big Dumbo ear fins that it had already split one of them, and I didn't really want to have to deal with that again. I told myself I wasn't going to buy a Dumbo ear bettas, but it was just so pretty, but I ended up going with this one because he's kind of neat. You can't really see it well on camera, but he's got like these shiny white scales that reflect light like crazy and look really cool when the light's off at night. He's really neat looking. He's also a scrounger. You can see him just trying to eat like anything. I'm not worried about him finding food, even if he doesn't get it when I put it in, because I know if it ends up on the ground, he's gonna find it. He will eat whatever. Okay, I'm going to make myself a group for the next round of island expeditions. Same thing. Went to a doctor, got a diagnosis, and I just fixed it on my own. Let's see. Advances. Yeah. I have my own history with. Oh, did I delist? Okay, we're all in here. I sometimes have a bad habit of delisting before everybody's joined, and then they can't join, and then I don't remember who it was, and then I can't get them back. It's awful. But yeah, I've had therapy before, and I feel like I learned some good lessons last time that I can continue to carry with me without having to pay for more therapy. When we do the final siege of Orgrimmar, we're gonna burn it all down. Who do you choose for spouses in Stardew Valley? So in my first runs that I've married in, I married Sebastian in one of them and regretted it because he doesn't quit smoking. He says he wants to, but then he's like, I should, and then he doesn't. And that's a big deal breaker for me, even in video games, apparently. So I've married Sebastian, and then in my most recent one, my PC playthrough, I've married Harvey. And Harvey's cute. Harvey, I wish he would be a little more, like, romantic. Like, he keeps the same doctor lines, like, we can be married and our wedding's tomorrow, and I, like, go to see him in the bar, and he's like, make sure you wash your hands. He's not... Some of them have more contextual married lines, and Harvey does not have that many. But, you know, he's a cute character, and also the only one that's, like, an adult with a proper job. So that's something. Let's see here. Do you and your husband want children? For us, not personally. I'm not against children, I'm just against them for me. I am against myself as a mom more than I'm against a child in particular. I am perfectly happy to spend my life cultivating pets and plants and working on my career, as my parents told me to say when I was a child. Is there a goal to these island expeditions? Yeah, I want stuff. I want to get stuff. There is still stuff that I need off the doubloon vendor, so there is still rewards that I can get just for the sake of doing them. But I want mounts. I want the rest of the pets. I really want the mounts. I have this weird, unrealistic fantasy of having every island expedition mount. And I know that that's dumb and also stupid. And also unreasonable. But if I'm ever going to do it, also, oh boy. If I'm ever going to do it, it's important, so I can get you up here. It's important to, oh no. I guess the bow's right there. Do them. If I want stuff from islands, I should probably do some islands, you know? Makes sense. Sounds good. JoshAllen.jpg. It's Heroes just your stream day. Oh, I need to pay attention. I need to watch my step. Alright, so Vampiric Embrace, Void Eruption. Look at that big ol' heal. Also, it helps heal your friends, so that's nice. And then we've got our thingy doodle. So this is where crabs are dangerous. You need to be very careful that you're not fighting too many crabs, because you can step out of the frontal cone if you're not rooted, but if they root you and then frontal cone, that's just a bad day. Okay, so let's run around and get all of these chests, and then we can sort of head north and up. I'm thinking like that middle central one. Michael Bounce, thank you very much for becoming a member. Welcome to the Squirrel Squad. I appreciate the support. Hope you enjoy your emotes and your icon. And also that you have a wonderful day. There's a new update that's going to revamp Married Life and give events. I heard about the patch. I didn't hear about the Married Life updates. I am dying to see what's in the patch. It's probably going to ruin my life again. I heard that you're going to be able to buy items that you lost in the mines off of a vendor. So that's nice. But I can't wait to see the other updates to it. Because apparently it doesn't get updates very often, which makes sense because it's made by one dude. I know he has help now, but originally just by the one guy. So the fact that it still gets yearly updates for free is already impressive. So looking forward to seeing what's going on in that. Okay. PTR boosts Heart of Azeroth to 50 in order to progress. Will that happen at 82 live? Do we need to grind it to 50? My understanding is that that will not happen on live, but regardless of your Heart of Azeroth level, you will still be able to... regardless of your heart level, you will still be able to unlock the major trait just by doing the quest line. Just by doing the unlock quest line for your Heart of Azeroth Titan Essence, you will get your major essence slot, which is the big important one. But your level will not be boosted. You will still have to level to 55 from wherever you were. There will be new catch-up levels, though, so if you are behind, I wouldn't stress about it. I would just kind of, like, wait. Don't worry about it too much. I'm not grinding islands for Azerite. I am grinding islands for mounts and stuff, and if I get Azerite, that's nice. I still have another level and a half to go. Level and a quarter to go. It's gonna be awkward. I guess I have enough to do to keep me busy until the patch. I don't want to be grinding islands after I'm capped, but I can do it up until I'm capped. Finally catching a live stream. Are you going to do 8-2 gathering and crafting? Might get into it. Want to get faster than 10 to 20k per day. I feel like the Zinninthid herb, which is going to be in Najadar, is going to be wild early on because it's in all the new stuff, and the new stuff is a new tier of flasks. It's a new tier of potions. It's some real valuable stuff that everybody's gonna want for raiding, and if you like gather it, sit on it, stack it up, and then when the raid comes out, then you drop it all. That's the plan. That's what I'm gonna do. I noticed, I mean, I need to double check the recipes, the exact recipes for the new flasks and potions and stuff on the PTR. Because they might, I'm sure they're probably going to use existing herbs too, because those are pretty cheap now. I noticed that on my server, Akunda's Bite is currently cheaper than the beach stuff. What's the beach one? Not Siren's Pollen. Sea Stalks. Akunda's Bite cheaper than Sea Stalks. What's up with that? That's weird. I'm going to get, there's like a couple, well, they're little chests. We won't worry about them. Did we get the extractor? We did. That's good. Let's go north, south, eeny, meeny, miny, mo. We can go south. I wear my sunglasses at night. I feel like that song was on like a Garage Hero or a Rock Band or a Guitar Hero or something. I feel like I played that song at a party with like friends or something. Okay, Scale Guard, Eulith. Look at all this stuff. Yeah, Dark Void, way to go, at least for this. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Get out of that. Maybe disperse a little bit. Just while I am in that CC. I'm gonna fear. That's your other big defensive ability. I'm going to stun. And if we can finish any of these off, they might drop orbs that might help us. Nope. Nope. Alright, I have a soul stone. I will use that. That was almost perfect. There's the orb. Found it. Alright, I can show you guys the buff that you get. So after you pick up the orb, I have 30 seconds, 10% damage, 10% maximum health. Not too shabby. So if there's like a bunch of orbs to pick up and you're about to fight some more stuff, it's not a bad idea to let different people get them to spread out that buff. Horde's down here. I hate the horde. Oh, there's a chest, or there's a rock. Watch your videos while at work at night? I am not... I mean, it's not really anybody's business. I'm not on any medications aside from multivitamins. My daily gummy multivitamin, because I am an adult that eats 2 pieces of candy in the morning to make sure that I don't get scurvy. The Harderoth? Did I say Harderoth? I don't even remember that. Maybe we can cut them off to the north. We can, like, go start doing these Azerite, and then if they try to get north past us, then they're going to have to go through us, and then they can spawn back at their boat. We can do, like, these guys. I have a bad habit of trying to dot up mobs that I really shouldn't bother. You know, there's, like, I'll do that often if I'm just, like, out questing or out, like, picking herbs and I aggro a mob. It's just like a wolf. I'll, like, put my Vampiric Touch and my Shadow Pain on it, and then I hit it with a Mind Blast and go, oh, I could have just Mind Blasted it twice and this would have been over by now. Oops, a daisy do. Get out of that. And stun somebody. Anybody, doesn't matter. I don't have a video for my mouse over healing macro. I've shown it on stream before, though. It's on my list of things to do. If you just Google mouse over healing macro, though, you'll probably find the same one I have. I found it by Googling mouse over healing macro ages ago. It's like a forum post or a Wowhead post or something. You can just cast, like I like to start with the pound sign or hashtag show tooltip and then a space so that you get the icon of the spell that you're using, and that also tells you that you put the right spell in. And then slash cast bracket at mouse over or target equals mouse over, and then another bracket the spell. That will work. There's just a couple of extra things in mind to make sure that you're mousing over something that you'll be able to help. There's like a, you know, not dead, so that it doesn't cast on you if you're mousing over something that's dead or like unfriendly or something. I don't know. But usually, if you're trying to use the mouse over macro, you're mousing over like the enemy frame, so it's kind of hard to mess up. Why is that soothsayer wrecking my life? Goodness gracious, golly gee. I wonder how many island expeditions one would need to do. Oh, she's casting a ability that I need to dodge. That's why. Usually, if you're getting your butt handed to you in an island expedition, you usually need to get out of something. Stop taking something to the face. There's still some stuff to the south. We don't really need to fight them again. Favorite allied race? I like Void Elves. There's something nice about everything, though. I think culture and humans have the best heritage armor. Okay. Why does it say there's a rare over here? Did they come after the horde left? They must have, because they definitely killed stuff. But here we are. So I'm going to silence him, get him all grouped up. Vampiric Embrace, Shadow Crash, Dark Void. Stun him a little bit. It is DR, that's okay. And get out of that. Ooh, not enough time. tuning in from work on a break. What's up, Fallen Sammy? How you doing? Do you not take Misery for Islands? You were late to this conversation. I couldn't decide, and I've been trying out Dark Void. I think I like it better. I did a bunch with Misery, and I did a bunch with Dark Void. I think it depends on the types of pulls that you're going to be doing, but I have been doing better damage with Dark Void than Misery. It's just like such a nice burst of damage and a huge chunk of insanity. And the insanity is almost more important than the damage because you can use that to help get you to your next Void Eruption, and Void Eruption is so big in groups that I would prefer that than trying to dot up everything. Especially because dotting up everything isn't always even the best thing to do. Like, if everything's gonna die in like 10, 15 seconds or less, as it often does in like a good group, then you don't really need to dot everything up. Okay. See if we can get a nice group. Like, yeah, if I had started Misery dotting all those things, that would have been a big waste of time. Bad habit of dotting up everything, yeah. Story of my life. I've been checking rotations for Shadow Priest. They favor Mind Blast spamming. It's very strong. It's quite a good ability. Okay, well, I'm gonna get this crab in here. I know it's gonna complicate things, but I would also like to be still continuing to work on Azurite while we're fighting the Horde, so we're not just here for years. Years and years and years. Also, the other thing that you can do if you're feeling spicy is you can try to pull rares in and get their abilities over the enemy. Like, the enemy team will totally take damage from the thing that the rare is doing. It's great. And you can kill rares using their stuff. Like, that rare was, I think, standing in one of Gazlow's Explodey abilities, and it just died. So, and because we tagged it, we get the credit for it. So there can be some good opportunities when you pull them together. You obviously want to make sure you don't get just like double teamed by everything. If you can lose aggro, that's nice. Like, tag it, pull it into them, and then feign death or fade or whatever. And if you can get the Horde to hit them and take aggro, that's awesome. I love that. Okay, almost done. We need another like 400. I bet we can find it. There's some stuff to mine over here. Head up the hill. We can do these. We can head up the hill and... is that gonna do it? There's one more. We need one more Azurite. Oh boy. Okay. That's a pumpkin. That won't help. Although, fun tip, if you are... let's just, like, kill one of the... Okay, there you go. Good, good. Just doubloons, no stuff. Not good luck today so far. I have Hazel on my TV. I'm on TV? Hello. I feel so fancy. Yeah, I've been getting, like, all the doubloons. Like, there we go. 9 doubloons, 11 doubloons, another 9, another 6. Alright, well, that's not a lot of doubloons. 9. I've gotten bags that have, like, 30 in them before. But, no, just the one pet that I already had, and that's been mostly it. Sometimes I like to take the one that lets you spread Shadow of Pain in an AoE. That would be Dark Void. A vertical mouse? I think I'm getting mouse elbow. Real talk, I miss my vertical monitor. I used to have my far right, I have 3 monitors, and I used to have my right one vertical, and the only reason I don't have it like that anymore is this monitor does not have a VESA mount, so it's on an adapter in order to attach to my VESA mount arm, and the adapter does not support vertical. Gravity is important for it, so no vertical monitor on the side for me. Not now, but one day, if I ever replace that monitor. I bought enough monitors in the last year that, okay, let's just head, like, straight north and then loop around that way. Like, we can hit up, like, this if we want, but, I want to be as far away from the boat as possible. Deep dive with pro island tips. I'm just, like, trying to assuage the guilt that I feel for not having yet made an island tip video when I did promise to do that. So I'm just spilling all the secrets early. Can I get this? I can if I fear. I'm still gonna have to kill those, but it's okay. Maybe they'll catch up. Maybe not. Oh, we can drag them over to these things over on the right side. That's a smart TV, so it has Netflix anyways. Oh, your monitor's like a Samsung TV? My monitors are pretty big. I've got... right in front of me and then to my left, they're 27 inches and they're 4K monitors. They're not like any crazy frame rate though. I don't know if they're definitely not 120 hertz. I hope they're 60 hertz. I guess I should check. But I was mostly looking for affordable 4K monitors because I want to be able to I just really like the resolution. I would prefer the resolution to a crazy refresh rate, even though I know that's not like the thing for gaming. But that's okay. Use whatever makes you happy. Okay. YouTube on my Roku TV. I use my Apple TV for YouTube, but the app on it, like actually directly on the Apple TV, is kind of annoying. So what I do is I just pull it up on my phone, and then I will AirPlay to the TV, and that works really well. YouTube on my big screen, watch your vlogs. I need to get more key binding, so I ordered the mouse. 30 and then 25 shipping and taxes, but better than getting a fancy $100 mouse locally. If you got the G600, it's going to be worth it. Like, the $20 shipping and taxes sucks, but it's a great mouse, and it should last you a very long time, too. These are sturdy mice, and you'll get used to it. My biggest tip for getting used to a new mouse with a button grid on it is start by keybinding just the top 3. Like, keybind just those and get used to hitting those, and then work your way down the mouse. Don't just, like, put buttons on all 12 buttons and then try to use them right away, because it does take a lot of learning. Start from the top and then work your way down. Just, like, add a keybind once you feel like you're ready for it. And take your time. Don't rush it. Island tip video when? After the pet dungeon video and the regular dungeon video and the cool things in 8.2 video and then 20 pet battle guides, then I'll look into it. I don't know what I need. It might be a hug. I have to start the pet battle guides over too. Apparently they changed a bunch of the pet battles. So all the ones that I had done in the PTR, or at least that I had started working on and the strats I'd worked out, I need to go and double check and possibly redo because they made some changes. And hopefully they're done making changes now, but it's PTR, you know, that's what it's for. Okay. Do you get better mount drop rates off of mythics? It is implied that that is true. These moomkins are messing me up. It is implied that that is true. There was a tweet that says that something to the effect of things should be more dropping more often. On Mythic, but they could drop on any difficulty. That's my impression. They've been very non-specific about things like that, though. So I don't think we have an out-and-out, like, blog post confirmation. I think we're just going off of that one tweet that implied that things are more likely to drop off Mythic. I do Mythics because they're faster Azurite, because they're better doubloons. You get, like, the guaranteed bag of doubloons you get, I'm pretty sure is bigger out of a Mythic than the guaranteed bag of doubloons you get out of Heroic. Don't laugh at my infirmities. I'm sorry. I don't have high-res eyes, so I don't bother much with high-res video. That is fair. I don't know if I'm going to try Classic again. I might if I get some time, but I really wanted to just do Islands. I am a live WoW kind of person myself. Bought an Orb Weaver, but returned it because I couldn't get used to it. Did you have trouble reaching the keys at the top? Not at all, but I have quite large hands. I'm just kind of a big person. I'm quite lanky and, you know, tall, long hands, big fingers. I got some good reach. They're not so big that they look weird in pictures because the rest of me kind of matches, but it's still quite a lot. Let's head north and do that portal. Oh. The Orb Weaver is the same thing, where it takes a lot of getting used to, and if you try to rush it, you might just get frustrated. But also, if you can't reach all the keys, that's a big and totally separate problem. So we can do this rare first. There's like a rare here, and there's another one like right down the hill. This is fun, though. You guys are great. You guys are wonderful Island Expedition partners, and we're really, like, despite the fact that we haven't seen a whole lot of loot, at least not for me, we've been really burning through the island, so I like that. That's nice. Is the Shadow Priest DPS any better when I'm out questing? I feel like I do no damage. Questing is literally the worst situation for Shadow Priest damage. You can still do fine, especially if you're in a situation where you can dot up a bunch of things and then gather them up and Void Erupt on them. But for just, like, killing one thing at a time, that's really your worst nightmare. In dungeons and in island expeditions and in raids, you're going to be much more effective. Okay, we can do that rare. We'll need all of it, so we can get that guy. We can get the portal. And then if we need more, we can sort of head down around the west side of the island and then down to those X's. She's got man hands? I mean, maybe men have my hands. Did you ever think about that? Forgot how tall? I'm 5'10". I'm not, like, really tall. I am tall for a woman. I am not, like, insanely tall. I actually really like being tall. I didn't used to be. I used to hate it when I was young. I thought it was, like, unfeminine and not cute and that no boy would ever like me. But as an adult, love being tall because I'm not very intimidating. And sometimes if I don't want to talk to people, I want to look intimidating. So it helps if you can put on, like, a couple of inches of heels and then just, like, you know, stare people down from up above them. It's not quite as good as being, like, good at conversation, but it makes me feel better. So that's something. Time to go play D&D. Have fun! Chances we'll see a Hazel Demon Hunter Island twink. Possible, especially if I decide that I really want to, grind out every island mount. The issue there is that as long as there is still Azurite that I need on my main, I would probably prefer to do it on my main. But if I get Azurite capped, like, after 8-2, alright, let's just make a run for it. Don't bother fighting the mobs. Let's just go right in the portal. Click on it, and then we'll go kill the stuff in here. I have hazel hands. Tempted by the button-heavy mice, but then I'd have to admit that I game a lot. Nothing to be ashamed of there. Sometimes people are impressed. My mom used to be very... I don't know about impressed. She was very overwhelmed by my desk. She used to call it my spaceship with my, you know, like the 17-button mouse and the 20-button gamepad and, like, the regular keyboard. She used to be like, I don't know what I would even do here. I am 5'10", or like 178 centimeters in, I was just about to say in Celsius. I'm 178 centimeters Celsius. There you go. Nailed it. So good at this thing. 7 foot. My girlfriend is 6 foot. People get a bit intimidated by us. Oh man, when you guys walk in a room, that's gotta be a feeling. Also, I feel like, I imagine you must encounter some difficulties in life being 7 foot tall that people that are not 7 foot tall cannot relate to. There's got to be some specific things that really drive you crazy. Would also probably depend on what country you're in. Like if you're in, I imagine that somebody that is 7 feet tall would have an easier time in like Denmark than they would in like Japan. 6 foot 10 degrees, 50 feet Fahrenheit. Leveling Shadow Breeze talents. Give me some tips about the specs. Yes, my best tip is www.warcraftpriests.com because that's where I get all my info. So anything I tell you is just stuff that I learned from them. I don't think for myself when it comes to Shadow Priests. I don't have any original ideas. I just do what they tell me to, and it works out great. So my island, these are my island talents. I always go Legacy of the Void. You can mess around with Dark Ascension, but it's, you know, it's more work and it's not all that much better. So I keep Legacy of the Void and Mind Measure's okay, but Insanity most of the time. The ones in the middle you can kind of switch around depending on what sort of situation you're in. So like single target, multi-target, that kind of thing. I always take Body and Soul. It's just the sprint is just better. And then I'm also always in Shadowward Void. That's a good start. Where am I going? I was going to go not this way. Don't follow me. Sorry. I'm going the wrong way. I'm like stuck in combat. I'm trying to go left. I went right. I'm hungry. It's 6 o'clock. I'm sorry. My dad referred to my desk setup as my command center. Saw your Orbweaver keybinding guide since I didn't want to do keybindings in a keyboard. Ended up loving it. Camping ANX and Diplom. That's like why I got a gamepad in the first place, was I was switching from being a clicker to a keybinder, and I was like, where the heck am I supposed to put all these buttons? Obviously there's a place because most people figure it out and they keybind just fine on a keyboard, but I was new to it and I was like, well, I move with these ones. I can reach 1 through 4, now what, right? So if you do it from the beginning, if you keybind on an Orbweaver first, that's really the best way to do it. But be warned, if for whatever reason you end up needing to switch back to a keyboard, you're going to have another learning difficulty. Like, you probably won't need to, but like if your Orbweaver breaks and you don't want to get another one, or if you are playing in a tournament, like if you want to do competitive WoW and you're playing in a tournament and they're supplying you with a keyboard, that's a keyboard, not a gamepad. I've run into that a couple times when I was like streaming at Blizzard or testing their dungeon at Irvine. I was trying to use a keyboard and I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. It's an edge case, but it can happen. There can be some drawbacks. I do sort of wish that I was competent on a keyboard because I feel real dumb when I have to play on a keyboard. You probably won't have to, though. You're probably good. Left-handed things can get annoying, like writing or shopping for a baseball mitt. Do you often shop for baseball mitts? With all the binds I've set up on my mouse and keypad, I cannot play the game normally anymore. Yeah, if you take away my mouse and my keyboard, it was probably funny watching me try to Shadow Priest at the Blizzard event, because they didn't have like, first of all, you were trying to work on keybinds that you set up yourself like real quick right there. And then second of all, it was a regular keyboard, and it was a gaming mouse, but it was not a 17-button gaming mouse. It was not like a grid gaming mouse. So I did my best. I think I did okay. I definitely clicked on a few things, but I basically just real quick were like, okay, I can hit these like 6 buttons. I'm going to put my main damage buttons on them. I'm going to take as many passive talents as possible, and I'm just going to focus. And it worked out okay. I don't think I embarrassed myself too horribly. I probably embarrassed myself a little, but you know, it was new content. Like cars, I don't fit in most cars. I'm in KY. Is KY Kentucky? Is that it? That's a state? Man, that was just more azurite and doubloons. Where's all this stuff today? That was like, what, the 5th or 6th island expedition I've done today? Let's do another one. Let's go again. This is not really an inspiring start to my like streamer career of just doing all island expeditions all the time. I kind of figured if I sat down and just spam mythics, I would get stuff. I always check out baseball mitts and I never find left-handed ones. Is this preventing you from getting into baseball? Like, you would play baseball if only you could find a left-handed baseball mitt. Because that's the whole story. I can see that movie. You're like, the movie's about something else. The movie's about like your struggle with like your dog. But there's scenes where you just continue to be in sports supply shops, just like staring at baseball mitts and then your hand and be like, oh, if only. Things could have been so different. Not trying to belittle your struggle, but. This is really sour. It's like a smoothie. And it's got like pomegranate and cranberries and cherries, and it's really sour. Okay. Straight in, and then north. Look at all this stuff. I know, like, the little things is not, like, the best way to go, but I can't just walk past it. It's right there. Oh, there's a chest there. You know, this is pretty good. This is a decent pit stop. Feel free to hit up that one. I see a quest over here. I would like to do that. I would also like to get this big ol' azurite crystal. Actually, oh no, it's a pick. It's a pickaxe. Gotcha. There we go. We're up 1,000 already. Make sure I don't aggro that if I don't need to. I'm going to give you one of these, and then I'm going to pull some crabs. Be very careful around the crabs. Crabs are dangerous. The little ones I don't think root. We'll see if that comes back to bite me. We're gonna see how true that is. I've got a stun and a fear, so I can use those to stop any emergency swipes that I cannot get out of. And I can get out of the swipes as long as I'm not rooted. Yeah, I'm doing much better damage with Void, Dark Void. Dark Void's way better for me. Okay. Now I'm gonna grab my pickaxe and these things, and then I just need to head down to the beach. This one's doing good so far. Put bartender in the PTR just because I couldn't deal with a regular keyboard setup. That is the one thing that I'm actually more used to now, is I can play without add-ons. I do so on the PTR just because I want it to be really stable. I've had like a lot of Lua errors in the past using add-ons on PTR. And I want like the footage that I use for my guides to be really clean and add-on free. So I don't even install DBM or anything. I go like add-on naked on PTR. And that you can surprisingly get used to. I think I've talked about this before, but most of the add-ons that I like can't live without are things like auction house add-ons and auto vendor. and world quest list. Like, if I was trying to live my whole life without add-ons, I would get fed up real quick. But for just, like, raiding, I can do okay without add-ons. I'm not going to be great. I'm not going to be perfect. But I can do passably well without any add-ons. At least while I'm healing. My healing experience is not very add-on heavy. As soon as I get into DPS, I don't like default nameplates and unit frames. But when you're healing, you're not so much worried about nameplates and enemy unit frames. KY is Kentucky. That is good. I mean, I don't know if it's good or not, but I'm glad that I got it right. It's a personal brand of lubricant. It is also that. And I know that because they've been advertising to me on Twitter ruthlessly, and I should probably try and find a way to turn off ads on Twitter, because who needs that? Your struggle with your dog. I don't know. Haven't you seen that movie? I don't watch movies. Is that not what they're about? There's got to be a movie that's about somebody's struggle with their dog. Maybe that's just the latest Jenna Marbles videos. New team next time. Want to do some islands? I'm actually almost done. We've been going for about an hour and 45 minutes, and it's a little later than I would typically stream. Oh boy. Oh boy. That's what soulstones are for. Thank you. Thank you, dances. I'm the short, honest version is I'm kind of getting hungry. So I'm probably going to go after either this one or one more, depending on whether or not I get anything. Because I will need to make dinner and then eat dinner. Also, we're exchanging, oh no. I think I need to silence and range kicks on the caster ads so that we can group them up and cleave them and like stun them and stuff. Because they were just like lasering us down while the big guy wandered around and got us. So I think that'll help. Yeah, we're exchanging gifts tonight. Rep for Void Elves. It is kind of gross. It's better than it used to be. But yeah, it's not great. I kind of thought they would have... Oh, there's a little blue thing over here. I'm going to get the little blue thing. I'll catch up. Don't worry about me. Or you can worry about me. That works too. Forgot what I was going to say. Sometimes I think about buying a mid online, but I want to try it out before buying it. You could buy a mid online and then return it if it is not the mid of your dreams. How many island mounts do you have? 1. And that's 1 more than some people, so I can't complain about it. But I want many. I want them all. I want glory. I want that. I want the Island Thunder Scale. I want the jelly. I want Chinsho's Eternal Hound, the Quillen mount. Like, dang, that thing's cool. Are you playing PTR? Not right now, like at this exact second. This is live. As much as I like Island Expeditions, it would be a little weird to do them for fun on PTR. The whole point is I want to keep the stuff that I'm getting. But I have been playing the PTR to check out the new content and try to make videos about it. At the very least, I'm doing raid testing so that I can make raid guides. Okay. Now that I've said that I'm hungry, you do not want the jelly. I mean, I want the jelly because I want all of them. I would prefer to get it last. Not gonna lie. I would prefer to get it later. I'm gonna go do the portal thing first. I got the Bat Island mount thing yesterday while leveling. Congratulations. I do think the Bat's the best. Is the Bat the best one? What are all the island mounts again? Oh, you know what I want? You know what I want is I want the Parrot Island Expedition. So these are the island mounts. Chasm Labor, so want. Yeah, no, you're right. I don't want the Surf Jelly. The Surf Jelly is actually the worst one. The Risen Mare, I love undead horse mounts, and just like a real basic one that I can use as Alliance, need that. Super need that. Hi from New Zealand. Hi, Lee. How are you? What's the weather like? Our weather is cool and cloudy right now, which is okay because it can get hot in summer later. It was getting hot early this year. But right now is about 15 degrees Celsius and cloudy. Enjoy having any? Been doing islands every week on some tunes and nothing so far. They're rare. And I like that they're rare, but I also want them. But I'll appreciate them more when I get them with them being this rare. So it's okay. Are you supposed to eat the skin of kiwi fruits? That's a good question. I'm not going to pretend to know, but I say, God, no. Who does that? They're weird and fuzzy. It would be like eating a baby. I don't know. Like who eats the skin of kiwi fruits? Are they even chewable? They're furry. I haven't. Do BOA things from the PTR show up in the live realms if you get them? Absolutely not. You don't get to keep any of your progress. They wipe your characters every now and then. If you get items to drop, you don't keep them. You are there just for the purpose of seeing new content and testing it. That's it. So, it's the same thing with the beta. It's why I have a hard time. A lot of people that are in the classic beta are getting really excited about it and like putting a lot of time into leveling and progressing their characters. You don't get to keep those. When Classic comes out on August 27th of 2019, you don't get to keep all that. So even if I was going to play Classic, I probably wouldn't do a ton of it on beta. A baby? Oh dear. Gold kiwis have smooth skin and the whole kiwi tastes great. I know I used to eat lemon skin when I was a teenager, but I think I was just trying to be edgy. And that was how I thought I was going to be cool. It was like, look, I'm eating a lemon like an apple. I'm so... I don't know what I was trying to be. Teenagers are dumb. Let's see. Just enough to get a feel for the gameplay. True. True that. I mostly, like, if I was not a YouTuber, I would only play betas and PTR. Actually, if I wasn't a YouTuber, I wouldn't play betas and PTR. I would just watch the videos made by people that were... And then I wouldn't play it myself. I would prefer to only play when I get to keep the progress and also leave some things spoiler free. But it is in my best interest as a content creator to create content about new content. So beta it is. Wash them before and the hairs get okay then? Alright, alright. Everyone regrets their teenage years. There's probably somebody that just like was really smart and had really good guidance and just like did important valid work that counts for them for the rest of their lives and didn't make any mistakes and was just like well-spoken and smart. That wasn't me. I don't know who did that, but somebody did. Not me, not anybody I knew. Even people that were pretty smart kids that made good decisions, you still say cringy stuff. You still do weird things. It's part of growing up. If you don't regret any part of your teenagehood, that's a little odd. Are you going to this year's BlizzCon? Sure am. I'll be there. Can't wait. It's gonna be great. I mean, I don't know if it's gonna be great, but I'm gonna be there and I'm excited about it, so. Oh boy. We are behind? Oh, we are behind. Okay, so we should catch up with the Horde at least once then. If we can wipe them, that would help. We died once, that's why. If we hadn't died, we would have been a little better, but we can still catch up. Okay, so these ones are done. I'm going to use my escape artist racial to get out of stuff. I was missing that. On the PTR, I play Horde because that's the faction that my raid testing guild is. And I made a goblin this time because I wanted the rocket jump racial. But every now and then I get rooted and I'm like, wow, wish I could escape artist. Can't. Okay. So there's a portal and a rare and a quest up top. So that's pretty efficient. We should do the quest first. I will pick up this. What do I need to burn actually? It's over here. I'm going to fear these guys. Oh, it's right here. Do this. And that'll do it. Perfect. We won. I once again got nothing. Hi, main goblin. I'm so pumped about the upcoming heritage armor. Want a sack of gold Diablo style? You want to be like a... I'm going to do one more of these. Oh, what are they called? Treasure goblins. Yeah. You can get island mounts on any difficulty. They may be more likely to drop on Mythic, but based on today, doesn't mean anything. You can do like 7 Mythic Islands in a row and get nothing. Watch your videos. I have to think of Mrs. Robinson. I know like Mr. Robinson? Mr. Robbins? Christopher Robin? No. Who am I thinking of? The nice one. OG allied races need their own dances. I was surprised to see that that they were giving new dances to some of the new allied races that are reskin races because they didn't give them to like void elves use the blood elf dance, for example. I was surprised that they went in. Oh, now we need some bad luck protection. I could take some bad luck protection, at least on the pets. Oh boy. All right. I'm thinking straight in and then south. Or we could just go straight like south, like up here and then take the south path and then just go up the beach. I like that. Let's do that. Robin Williams? Robinson Crusoe? A lot of Robinsons. Common, popular name. There's a rare. I'm just going to keep going and pull this up to the next area and then we can stop and clear everything. And there's the... There we go. So I can just click on this guy and that'll do. And... yeah, I'll get a couple crabs, then we'll stop because they're crabs and crabs are dangerous. One thing about islands is I don't think things tether. Maybe they do. Oh boy, what did I say about crabs? Maybe they do, but I'm gonna disperse. See if we can't get a appreciate the soulstone. What was I thinking? Oh, an orb. Yeah, orbs would be good. Alright, well, this is the last island of the day, so hopefully something good happens. Oh, there's an orb. That's something good. Kind of, sort of, I guess. Kind of surprised you were hyped about farming islands. I've done 20 and never got a single thing. I really got the bug when I got my first island mount. I have this Blood-Gorged Hunter mount, and now I need the rest of them. Like, I'm just imagining myself finishing BFA and moving on to the next thing and being like, I don't have all the island mounts. Do I go back and farm them? Do they scale up with us? Are they making new ones? Like, what's the deal with that? So I would like to get them before the expansion ends, so I'm not stressed about it. But the prospect of getting all the island expedition mounts before anything is overwhelming. So who knows? But I got one, and now I got the bug. I need more. They wanted to put them out fast. They should have had time to revisit it. Revisit, what, the island expedition mounts? Or I'm missing something. Oh, bad luck protection, yeah. Bad luck protection on Legion emissary mounts, I think, would have been very fair. And the thing is, you can tune bad luck protection. You don't have to make it so it's like a guaranteed drop after 5 chests or anything. You can make it still be rare. But having some bad luck protection, even if you're just guaranteed to get it after like 100 attempts, you're, you know, not exactly flat like that, but you know what I mean. It would be something. It would be a light at the end of the tunnel. But even when they do bad luck protection, they don't like to be transparent about it, so you guess you would probably never know. No one's going to have all the things from islands, so don't worry about it. But what if I want to be the person that has all the things from islands? What if I make the changes in my life and I just become a full-time island expedition streamer? And I just do this all day, every day, and never make another video, and no, you're right, that's a bad idea. I smell Flintstones vitamins. That's strange, right? That's probably the fruit from my fruit smoothie thing. They might nerf the drops towards the end of BFA. I would wait to do islands before then. What if they don't, though, and then I lost all of that time? I feel like if they did nerf it, it would be very late, and they're going to be hesitant to do it because of how rare they are and the fact that people are farming for them, knowing how rare they are now. So, maybe, but maybe not. I don't know. I wouldn't bank on it. I wouldn't put off farming them for it, but that's just me. Maybe I'm wrong. That happens. Annie Fuchsia has almost all the things in game. That is true. I've seen her stream now and then, like stream highlights, and her collections are impeccable. Quite impressive. A lot of people with all the mounts? With all the island mounts? Or just with all the mounts in general? Because there's probably not that many of those people. I'm sure there are some, but a lot? Like, just having all the glad mounts immediately makes you a very, very rare person indeed. Let alone all the everything else. Okay, I'm gonna do kind of a big and unadvisable poll. So if I die, it's my fault. Okay. Big numbers from the Shadow Priest, mostly the other one. I used my buttons poorly. Big fear. Yeah, I should. My bad. Oops, sorry. I'm gonna soulstone and I can't res. I can... I just have these two. This is fine. That was 100% my fault. I apologize. I can Shadow Mend myself. Oh, those guys hurt. Okay, this guy's almost dead. I'm getting out of the whirlwind, if I can. I'm out of buttons, so that's a bummer. But this guy's almost down. Oh, so close. All right. Yeah, professional island expedition, by the way. Yep. That was a calculated call. I'm actually just trying to make the enemy NPCs feel like they've got this. I'm trying to get their hopes up so that we can crush them extra thoroughly at the end. It's what they call a big brain master plan. Right here. I could have the things in the game by now, but I wanted to see if Gilligan got off that island. Odds are that you, Hazel, are beta testing island expeditions before they drop a huge nerf on them and make them shower people with mounts and pets. If they do, I will have feelings about it. I feel like how far into the expansion are we now? Came out like half a year ago. 6 months in. As much as people like to say World of Betacraft, I don't think we in beta anymore. I think this is it. I think this is the game. I think this is the world. I think that my time will not be wasted. I can kill this one. This particular island might be doomed. That guy, yeah, no, that one guy really hurts. We can get him, but we're gonna have to do it carefully. Also, at least your progress stays. I love that about islands, how if you die, the mobs do not reset. Like, your damage counts. Love that. Just while I wait for them to get back, I can just do little bits here and there. If we wipe the horde, that might help. We might still have a chance to beat them. Although, I don't know what happens when you don't beat them. Do you still get chances at loot? Is it the same chance at loot? Do we know? Are there answers to these questions? Okay, I will not pull that guy by myself. We can do that all together when he's back. There's some stuff I can loot in the meantime. I'm also going to repair my gear because it's in bad shape. I have an add-on. Auto Vendor is set up so that whenever I open a repair tab, it will automatically repair my gear. And I don't have Auto Vendor when I'm on the PTR, so I always have to open the repair window twice. Once expecting it to work, and then it doesn't work, and then I'm like, oh yeah, I have to actually click the button. Life is so hard. They might throw them on a vendor and buy them with doubloons. Doubt it. If they were going to do that, they would have done it when they added the doubloon vendor. And I could be wrong. But those... If they just make them real easy... They've had plenty of hard-to-get mounts in the past that continue to be hard to get to this day. Is there a thing that we specifically need to stop here? Necrotic Volley was bad. Okay, we got him. We got him. At least I can escape artist out of that route, because that was going to be a really long route. Wouldn't spend any doubloons until the end. Oh, I'm going to spend doubloons until I bought everything on the vendor. Horde are right north of us, so we can get them. Make sure that we loot all of our goodies. Make sure that we kick that, or stop that. There we go. You can't have that. Getting out of that. No, stop it. I always dispel her arcane shield, but I feel like she puts it back up so quickly, it's probably not even worth it. It is kind of neat how the NPCs will try to loot stuff while they're also fighting you. Like, they make that choice. It's annoying when they get it off, but it's nice when they don't, because then you get extra time to fight them. Oh, interrupt bursting bones. Good tip. Okay, so we'll get that. There's a bunch of stuff to the north, and they're spawning in the far right-hand side. So if we take this path, there's a rare up here, and we're ahead of them then, so we'll get this. No problem. You can wipe twice. I lied. I said it was up here. It's not. It's in a cave of some sort. I don't know. Life is hard. There's... Where do we go? What do you think? This way. I found a thing. Vampiric Embrace, Dark Void, and Shadow Crash. That will heal us up. Good burst of damage. I sense that you will get a drop this run. I hope so. This is the last one. Sometimes there is extra luck in the fated, fabled last run. Could happen. Don't let them loot our chest. They might try to do that. I like how she tells us that we're horrible, and it's unclear if she thinks that we're just like horrible fighters or we're horrible and she hates us because we're just so mean. Dude, I'm right here. I'm standing right here. A running commentary. It's like watching a sporting event. Oh, man. Oh, boy. No, lots of coins. 3 bags of doubloons. Nothing, though. Nothing. Bad luck today. We spent the whole stream doing island expeditions and got 1 pet that I already had. What's that luck? In any case, thank you all very much for watching and for putting up with my later than usual stream. I'll be back next week with videos, normal Tuesday morning Mount Run stream, the huge. Appreciate you all. Thanks for the new members. That extra helps, as do the super chats. And I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful weekend.